First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
The first big chill of fall has homeless shelters asking for donations of blankets and coats. For Thursday, October 30th, that's our top story. I'm Taylor Nunez.
And I'm Chloe Craig. For shelters housing the homeless when the temperatures drop, a dip in the weather means a spike in utilities. Gainesville and Alachua County allocate an extra $50,000 a year to housing the homeless on colder nights. $40,000 will go to St. Francis House and $10,000 to the new shelter, Grace Marketplace. For shelter officials, the most important thing is making sure people have the option to sleep in a heated room.
I'm thinking that probably most of the people that will be sheltering for cold night are folks that live in the tents that normally are fine out there. But when it's getting down into 30s, they may be encouraged to come indoors, at least for the night.
The fires get bigger. We double insulate our tents. We use the emergency blankets, put them over top and tape them down, keep the body heat in.
Grace Marketplace and St. Francis House are asking specifically for blankets, long sleeve shirts, and oversized hoodies.
Well, you can tell a cold front is on the way because of the showers making their way through north central Florida.
UF forecaster Brittany Van Voorhees is in the Weather Center tracking where these showers are now. Brittany?
Chloe, Taylor, we're seeing lots of showers and thunderstorms popping up currently in our area. Lots of showers and thunderstorms right around the Gainesville area. We're definitely seeing some showers right around Gainesville, right around the Oaks Mall, town of Tioga, Hale Plantation, and by the airport. A little bit closer, we're seeing no lightning strikes there so far, but definitely some heavy rain. There's another shower right by the city of Chiefland. Currently not seeing any lightning strikes there either. We're definitely seeing those heavy rain. And as we move a little bit more north, we're going to see some showers and thunderstorms just northeast of the city of High Springs. Back to you.
Gary Morse, the developer of the Villages, has died at age 77. The Villages grew into a massive retirement community stretching across parts of Sumter, Lake, and Marion counties. The census puts the population just over 50,000. Morse was a well-known Republican donor, and many state officials are paying tribute. Ag Commissioner Adam Putnam says Morse transformed the region with his success.
In Gainesville, some 4th and 5th graders from Idlewild Elementary got a little taste of college today. Stephanie Matarazzo joins us from our UF newsroom with the story.
Well, when you talk to kids about professions, they mostly think of doctors, lawyers, police officers, teachers, artists, and actors. You normally don't hear a lot about wanting to grow up to be a scientist or an engineer, but there's great opportunity in the STEM fields: science, technology, engineering, and math. So today, UF put an outreach event that was fun and hopefully eye-opening. These kids aren't excited about recess. Instead, they are excited about being engineers for a day.
A lot of our students really don't think about engineering.
Their teachers at Idlewild Elementary and the faculty at the University of Florida are hoping to get them interested in math and science classes.
We're trying to instill in our students that higher education is very important, and we want them interested in both science, technology, math, and engineering classes.
This year, it was Aero students that were helping out with activities.
I think it was really fun. We got to perform.
The kids were given a bottle just like this one and asked to decorate it. They had to have a golf ball and a cone to make sure it was aerodynamic. Then they put water in it, attached it to this launching pad with a prong to make sure it didn't fall off. Then they made sure to pump some gas into it, and after it was done, they just pulled this rope and... 2, 1! The idea is that if kids get involved with science and engineering projects early on, they'll be more encouraged to be math or science majors.
It's very important for our students to know that this is the future.
I like studying space because there's a lot of things I can learn.
The outreach program reaches out to schools all over Florida and invites kids K-12 to the university. Reporting from UF's Innovation News Center, I'm Stephanie Matarazzo, WUFT News.
The University of Florida College of Education has been awarded $1 million to help schools tap into early development enterprise. The grant comes from the Jim Morgan Foundation and will be used for the college's Early Learning Florida program, a new online professional development system. Early Learning Florida offers online and face-to-face instruction with the latest course content for early education teachers.
In Central Florida, 2 nursing home assistants are charged with battery of an elderly person. The Winter Haven Police Department arrested the two CNAs after an investigation reported them beating a 76-year-old Alzheimer's patient. The victim's son found bruises on his father's arms and legs. Police say video from the nursing home shows the aides hitting the victim. Both are being held at the Polk County Jail without bond.
The Florida Supreme Court has removed a longtime Leon County judge from office. Judith Hawkins is accused of operating a private business from her chambers and failing to cooperate with the investigation. Justices say Hawkins used a judicial assistant for her private business, Gaza Road Ministries, and sold her books to attorneys who appeared before her. She is also accused of hiding evidence. A panel suggested a reprimand, suspension, and fine, but the justices say given her conduct, removal is the only appropriate option.
The latest Quinnipiac poll suggests Charlie Crist may be inching ahead in the governor's race thanks to his appeal among independents. The previous Quinnipiac poll found a dead heat in Florida, but the new poll conducted last Wednesday through this Monday found Charlie Crist favored by 43% of likely voters, with Rick Scott falling back to 40%. Libertarian Adrian Wiley polled at 8%. Crist has opened up a large gap among independents. 47% of them favor Crist compared to just 29% for Scott. Independents are also twice as likely as most voters to consider the Libertarian Wiley. Quinnipiac says Crist may be enjoying a lift from the three debates with Scott, and Wiley was excluded from them, and historically third-party candidates struggle to hold their polling levels in the actual election results. If that happens again, it should give Crist another slight edge. The October poll found Wiley supporters favoring Crist as their second choice, a reversal of what the poll found in December before the three debates. And in the ongoing election, Floridians are deciding whether to legalize marijuana for medical uses. Florida Trail lawyer John Morgan is behind the campaign. He recently took a road trip with his campaign bus all the way to New York City for a network profile. NBC's Gabe Gutierrez has this look at Morgan's quest.
It's a ride full of high hopes. What do you think of this bus?
I almost cursed again. It's a freaking awesome bus.
32, and this is the first time I've registered to vote, yeah.
The bus belongs to John Morgan. John, they call you Mr. Marijuana. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, because look, I became the face of this.
He's a well-known trial attorney.
Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Who sunk at least $5 million into legalizing medical marijuana in Florida.
The war on drugs has failed.
Part of his motivation, he says, is his brother Tim. A lifeguarding accident left him a quadriplegic. He says marijuana eases the chronic pain.
And my life would be totally different without it.
For pot advocates this November, the stakes are high around the country. Voters in Oregon, Alaska, and Washington, D.C. are considering whether to join Colorado and Washington state and legalize weed for recreational use. 23 states plus D.C. already allow medical marijuana, but Florida would be the first state in the South.
It would be gigantic.
Still, Morgan has plenty of critics who say Amendment 2 is a slippery slope to wider pot use.
Because people want to sit around Saturday night with the strobe lights going and Cheech and Chong playing and smoke their pot.
The Florida Medical Association also opposes the measure.
There's so many loopholes that this is sort of a monster that would be hard to control. There's very little scientific evidence out there that marijuana is medicinal at all.
His opponents argue this is more about Morgan's self-promotion and drawing young voters. But this trial lawyer says this fight is about more than politics.
I expect to win this battle and the war, but if I don't win this battle, I damn sure will win the war.
A well-known trial attorney.
Medical marijuana normally brings a state registry, ID cards for those with the prescriptions, state-approved plant nurseries, plus dispensaries for the dosage products to smoke or eat. And as you just heard, critics say there will be people cheating the system in all kinds of ways just to get high or make a buck. Since it's a proposed change to the state constitution, Amendment 2 needs 60% to pass, and early this year, polls showed Amendment 2 likely to sail through, but recent polls suggest it may barely get a majority or may even finish below 50%.
Former Governor Jeb Bush insists it's too early to call him a likely candidate for president in 2006. Bush says his son, George P., did not consult him before telling ABC he is, quote, more than likely to run for president in 2016.
He's got an opinion. He didn't talk to me. When you have kids, you'll probably have the same frustration. You'll love them to death, and they have their own opinions, but I'll make up my mind, just as I've said, at the end of the year.
Bush was in Colorado to rally support for Republicans in the Colorado races for governor and U.S. senator. Similar campaign stops in other states have fueled speculation that he's quietly lining up support for a presidential bid.
And still to come, while Florida doesn't have a Senate race this year, a lot of the other states do, and those results could change who holds the majority in the U.S. Senate. This story next.
And there's a new college pastime. Find out the risk it runs after the break.